One of the questions I've been asked a lot since October 7th is, why do you stand up? What makes you use your voice? And the more I think about it, the odder those questions seem to me because the answer should be obvious, right? I stand up and use my voice for the same reason that every Jew and every ally who is standing up uses theirs. Because we have to. There is rabid, widespread, normalized Jew hatred throughout the world like we haven't seen in decades. In our schools, our institutions, our workplaces, our media, the very neighborhoods where we live. And of course, there's, the horrific atrocities committed by Hamas on October 7th and every single day since. So I think the better question is, if you're someone who isn't standing up or speaking out, why not? Like, if you haven't spoken up yet, what would it take to get you to speak up? How bad does it have to be for Jews for you to think it's worth saying something? What does that look like? Really think about it. Because from where I'm sitting, it's already looking pretty bad. 360 free spirited young Jews were mowed down at a dance party. That's 6 times more people than have been killed at any mass shooting event in American history. And that wasn't enough for you to say anything. Jewish families were burned alive, Jewish infants shot in their cribs, Jewish peace activists butchered and kidnapped. Still, didn't say anything. Jewish college students were barred from entering school buildings, mocked and isolated by professors and students alike simply for being Jewish, and you said nothing. Radical Islamists in masks burned American flags on the campuses of our most hallowed universities, waved terrorist banners, chanted for the genocide of the Jewish people, and that still wasn't enough for you to say anything. Violent mobs assaulted Jews in LA, Montreal, Brooklyn, Amsterdam. Synagogues and day schools were firebombed, desecrated, vandalized in Tunisia, Toronto, Sydney, and you didn't say anything. Iran launched enough rockets to blow the civilian population of Israel into oblivion, targeting innocent Jews, Christians, Muslims, and you said nothing. Terrorists paraded Israeli hostages on stage, surrounded by thousands of rapturous, Jew-hating Palestinians and their children, who all seemed to be a lot better clothed and fed than the emaciated hostages they held in tunnels and civilian homes for over a year. They traded the body of a toddler they kidnapped and executed in exchange for the release of multiple mass murderers. They broke the ceasefire by missing deadlines. They broke the ceasefire by firing a rocket that killed a Gazan teenager. They broke the ceasefire by swapping out Shiri Bibas's body just to torture everyone a little more. And you said nothing. People drew swastikas on posters of a 9-month-old Jewish baby who had been kidnapped from his bed. 500 plus days later, that baby came back strangled to death, body mutilated, his tiny coffin filled with terrorist propaganda materials. And that wasn't enough for you to say anything. So again, I have to ask, if none of that was enough for you to speak up, what could it possibly take to get you there? Seriously, how much worse does it have to be for you to say, this is bad, I should say something? Now, for those of you who have totally spoken up, but maybe only quietly or only online or only once, what is it you're waiting for? Really think about what your answer might be. And if you're someone who remains committed to silence in the face of these abject horrors, at least have the fortitude to search yourself and be honest about why, where you really stand, if you stand for anything at all. As for the rest of us, I have a bitter pill that I need you to swallow. Here's the truth. Nobody else is coming. Nobody else is coming. Accept it. Embrace it. Breathe it out. Stop waiting for your favorite celebrity or your friend from college to do the right thing. Stop hoping. Stop raging. Stop being shocked when they disappoint you. If they haven't said anything yet, that is a choice they've made, and they're probably not going to say anything now. But on the off chance they do at last wake up out of their brainwashed, cowardly stupor, we can all be pleasantly surprised and welcome them warmly back to reality. Though it'll likely only be when it's become socially acceptable and therefore easy to do without exhibiting any integrity, or when it's already too late to make a difference. But it's okay. It's okay. We got this. We are more than capable of holding it down as we are. If We are each of us active and unified. Don't wait for someone to tell you you're needed to jump into the fray. You're needed now. What else could you possibly be waiting for?